Hi guys, and welcome back to Today I Rant about 50 Shades of Grey. This is going to be a long one, isn't it? Now, before I do start this video, I do want to bring up a bit of a trigger warning for all of you who have experienced abuse in the past or are still experiencing abuse. Okay, so I guess I'm going to start where it all began. I am aware that most of you know what 50 Shades of Grey is, that you know that it is a series of movies that got adapted from a series of books by the same name, 50 Shades of Grey, and it basically talks about BDSM and, you know, the relationship between Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele. But I am also pretty sure that most of you do not know that the books were actually adapted from a Twilight fan fiction named Master of the Universe. So in 2011, a user by the name of Snow Queen's Ice Dragon, I'm sorry, I just had to see that to make sure that I was saying that right, yeah. Snow Queen's Ice Dragon, you know, started writing a fan fiction about Bella and Edward. And from there, for some strange reason, like, millions of people loved the story, and she had like so many fans, you know, and they, for some strange reason, decided to, you know what, let's give this girl a book. So without further ado, the 50 Shades book came out. Now, when the books actually came out, I started hearing a lot of things about them, as I'm sure that you all did, you know. Everyone was calling it, you know, like the mommy porn, or, you know, like the middle-aged getting aroused by a book kind of situation. And you know what? I was like, you go, girl, you know, like, you do whatever makes you happy, Karen. I was actually quite pleased that there finally was, you know, kind of a mainstream contemporary book that empowered women's sexuality and that would help remove a bit of the prejudice, you know, that some kinks have, such as BDSM. All of a sudden, I started hearing and reading very different things from a lot of people saying that 50 Shades of Grey was a story of abuse. And that, you know, the whole BDSM community was enraged by this book because it did not represent them correctly and it actually had a lot of mistakes. And I understand that part because obviously the BDSM community, you know, not everybody knows about it, not everybody understands it, and to have a book that has gained so much popularity, you know, to actually twist what it really is, it's just really detrimental, you know. Anyways, the point is, I thought, okay, you know what, maybe this is a story about, you know, education. This is a cautionary tale about abuse and about abusive relationships. I don't know, you know, I decided to give it the benefit of the doubt. I said, you know what, I'm not really sure what this is about. I haven't read the book. I will not read the book. And then the movies came out, right? So I went and I saw the movies. And oh dear Lord, was I wrong. I should have never even given it the benefit of the doubt because the story is clearly about abuse. And everyone seems to know it except for the author, E.L James, which we will talk about a little bit later in this video. But, you know, everyone was enraged, everyone was, you know, obviously I've come really late to the party because I've just decided to open this YouTube channel, but, you know, still, I just wanted to talk about it. But the thing is, everyone was really mad that, like, everyone understood that the story was about abuse except for the author. And E.L James, she just, like, you know, she adamantly defends her book and she says it's a romantic novel and the movies are about a romance between a guy named Christian Grey and a girl named Anastasia Steele, and I cannot believe that everyone is thinking that this is abuse. And I will just attach right now, like, a quick quote from her, you know, with her exact words so that you can read that. I really honestly couldn't understand how she didn't see that this was abuse and that this was an abusive relationship and not a healthy or, you know, just normal relationship with some guys that just like to have kinky sex. No, that's not the case. This is not what that is. This is just pure abuse. Okay, and let me start breaking down these things for you, because if you're like me and you haven't read the books, don't worry, I've done the research for you. Yes, I did do a lot of research into the books. So let us start with saying this. The movies are really toned down compared to the books. Okay, the movies are like Disneyland, while the books are just like fucking hell on earth. Okay, it's just it's crazy, the difference, the abysmal difference between, you know, the abuse that actually goes on in the movies and the abuse that actually goes on in the books, or, you know, the romance, as E.L James calls it. So I'm going to start by actually showing you some actual quotes from the book. Okay, I'm going to put them on the screen now, and you can just read them and you can actually make your own conclusions for yourself. Okay, just read these quotes. Okay, so I think that we can all agree that there are some really fucked up things going on in E.L James to actually believe that this is, you know, not an abusive relationship. But there is one more quote that I would love to read to you, you know, because I think that it sounds really different when someone else is like actually reading it to you. So I'm going to read you this quote, okay? That this is the quote that I think just, you know, sums everything up, basically. You wanted to know why I felt confused after you. Which euphemism should we apply? Spanked, punished, beat, assaulted me? Well, during the whole alarming process, I felt demeaned, debased, and abused. Now, this quote is taken from a part in the book in which Anastasia, you know, writes an email to Christian Grey, because apparently, you know, that's also a thing. Like, apparently they're just like too old school to, you know, have a cell phone and just, you know, WhatsApp each other or something, but whatever, that's another point. Thing is, this is an email that Anastasia writes to Christian Grey. Her own main character is saying that she feels demeaned and abused, and E.L James just keeps pretending like nothing is wrong, you know, like all of this is perfectly normal in a healthy relationship. Girls and boys, let me just say something, and I am talking to you like really, really honestly here. If anyone ever makes you feel that way, run the other way. That is not a healthy relationship. Do not believe this woman. This is not romance, okay? So let's start talking a little bit about the BDSM and why the BDSM community felt misrepresented. So BDSM stands for bondage and discipline, dominance and submission, and sadism and masochism, okay? So it's just really, you know, practices that two consenting adults have within their personal and sexual life, involving dominance and, you know, submission, masochism and sadism and stuff like that, okay? Now here's one of the things that I think that E.L James clearly did not understand about, you know, BDSM. For example, dominants do not derive pleasure from watching people suffer. That's not it, you know? The pleasure is not directly linked to the pain or the suffering that the other person is feeling. You know, submissives feel pleasure from that pain or from that, you know, submission. Okay, they feel pleasure. So dominants actually feel pleasure from their partner feeling pleasure. It's as simple as that, okay? Here's the other thing that E.L James completely just, she completely butchered it because she clearly does not understand how any of it works. BDSM is between two consenting adults. Repeat after me, consenting. Examples about how E.L James does not understand about consent at all. First of all, in the first movie and in the first book, you know, Christian tells Anna, like, by the way, like, Anastasia Steele and Christian Grey, like, really, I mean, you're so creative, oh my god. You're such a creative person. Those names are just fabulous. Anyways, the point is, Anastasia and Christian are kind of in a relationship all of a sudden, it just kind of happens. And Christian is like, well, you know what, Anna, I'm going to share my secret with you. I am a dominant, okay? And I want a submissive in bed, I'm into this kink, right? So what do you say, you want to hop on board? And Anna is like, well, not really, I'm kind of a virgin. I haven't really had lots of experience with sex. And, Christian is like, oh my God, we have to fix that, or like right now, So they have like vanilla sex just because Anna wants to have vanilla sex. And because Christian kind of wants to take her virginity in a nice way. Apparently, I don't really know. Oh God, this is so bad. Okay, anyway, so they have sex so that Anna stops being a virgin, because apparently, with one-time sex, one-time vanilla sex, then you're all ready to go into the hardcore BDSM world. You've given up your token. Now you can come into the fun rides. Anna is not sure whether she would like this lifestyle or not. And she is right, because who the fuck would really know, being like, I think she's 21, like a 21-year-old virgin, if you really want to enter into a BDSM world in which there's spankings and sometimes, there can be rougher stuff. So, like, really, like, I'm with Anna on this, I wouldn't be sure either. And that's actually one of our first encounters with abuse, like, Christian takes advantage of the fact that Anna, she has absolutely no prior experience before him into the sexual life, she doesn't really have a sexual life. So he's just like, well, I'm gonna give you this vanilla sex, and then you're gonna give me the hot kinky sex I want, right? So days go by, and Christian is like, Anna, I need you to sign this contract, that legally says that you are okay with me, doing all of these things and that you're consenting to it. Basically, okay? But here is the thing. This is the most important thing in this entire situation. Anna never signs the contract. Repeat after me, everyone. Anna never signs the fucking contract, E.L James, that should be like a pretty red flag for you right there, If Anna really wanted to sign the contract, I think she would have just signed the contract and that's it, But she's unsure because she doesn't enjoy it, but she likes Christian Grey because, like, let's be honest, who wouldn't, right? I mean, if your idea of the perfect man is handsome, wealthy, and with abs, even though he treats you like garbage, even though he controls everything that you do, but hey, he has abs, girl, so, standards are set high. Anyways, the point is, Anna never signs a contract, right? And throughout the entire movie, right, or the book, if you read the book, Anna, her internal monologue and her attitudes and the way that, she's facing all of this, she's not sure if she really wants this lifestyle. You can clearly see that she's undecisive. You can clearly see that she does not enjoy just like this whole situation of being, tied up, and she doesn't want that, she wants a fucking vanilla relationship with a guy who is more damaged than anyone in this world, she just wants to fix Christian Grey, which is also like a very toxic thing to do. Like, please guys, don't try to fix your partners. Like, you can't fix them, they're not like washing machines. Just don't, okay? Just don't. That's toxic, okay? Anna, she's never really comfortable with it. She in fact states that she's not comfortable with it a lot through the book and sometimes through the movies. And it's not just in the bed, the Christian is kind of aggressive. She is afraid to make him angry. He controls everything she eats, and he controls everything she drinks, and he stalks her, and he follows her, and he gives her things like she was a fucking prostitute. It's like, oh, what do you need? A computer? Here you go. Let me just throw some dollars in there. It's like, but that's not the way it works. At the end of the day, it's just not a healthy relationship. And a lot of people were saying, like, if Christian Grey was, poor and living in a trailer park, a lot of people would call him a fucking psychopath. And you know what? They're absolutely right. Anna's whole situation for being with Christian is just that he's handsome, he is wealthy, and he has abs. Anna has the personality of a fucking chair. Like, seriously, she she is beyond anyone's help, you know. She doesn't make any decisions for herself. She just kind of lets everything happen to her, and she never like really gets involved with anything. I don't know. I mean, like I said, it's a really fucked up dynamic that E.L James keeps on defending and protecting with her life. Let's take, for example, something that happens later on. I'm not really sure in what movie, and I'm not really sure in what book, but I am sure that this happens, though. In which Christian is kind of opening up, you know, and apparently he tells Anna, you know, I am this way because, and in the books, this is a direct quote, in the books it says, I am like this because I like to beat the shit out of girls that look like the crack whore. And the crack whore, he is referring to his mother, his birth mother. And that's just fucked up. So if you're not aware, you know, during the story we get like this sad flashback of Christian being abused and stuff, and apparently he's really fucked up. And again, that's another thing that I absolutely hate about this, you know, because E.L James makes it seem like BDSM or kinks are a sickness, you know, like it's only derived from negative experiences in your past. So if you were abused, if you were beaten, if your mother was a crack whore, like if all of these things happen, then you are into BDSM, you know. Otherwise you would just be a good, you know, vanilla fellow. You would just like, you know, missionary normal sex, and that would be it for you. You would be comfortable with that. No, that's oh my god, that's so infuriating, you know, like saying that people who like different things in bed, that they apparently are sick, or they apparently need to be fixed, and they will eventually, you know, kind of settle down, you know, and start to like vanilla sex because, you know, you're getting cured or fixed. Like, I'm so confused. I don't like this at all. And the most infuriating thing about this is that E.L James keeps defending her story, you know. She keeps saying, like, this is a story about romance. Take, for example, this girl who tweeted at her, you know, like, hey, you know what, I'm a rape victim, and I think that this is a story about abuse because I felt identified with the way Christian treats, you know, Anastasia, with the way someone else treated me. And the answer from E.L James is just magical. It's literally just fabulous. You just look at it.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Okay, who in their right mind, like literally, like just, for fuck's sake. Who in her right fucking mind would answer to a rape victim telling you, you know what, I see attitudes in this character of yours, and I see dynamics between this couple that you wrote that are very similar to the things that I went through when I was being raped or abused. And who the fuck answers her with like, read the book, you know, just fucking throwing a book? Like, that's not a way that you answer people, you know? Who the hell are you to re-victimize someone like that? Jesus Christ. Just fuck her. I'm sorry, but just fuck E.L James. I fucking hate her, and I think that she's a horrible human being. I know that a lot of you might be thinking, well, whatever, you know, it's just a fictional story. Who the hell cares? You know, she's wacko, whatever. But here's the thing. I think that authors, and again, directors and producers and writers and people in media have a certain level of responsibility to society for the content that they create. The thing is, you can't just, you know, publish something, claim that it is romance, and then just expect everyone to understand it the same way that you do when the things that you're writing are clearly about abuse. It's not okay, you know? Take, for example, the rape victim that tweeted at her. I'm pretty sure that she felt really re-victimized and really awful reading a book that maybe someone told her was about, again, female empowerment and this and that, and then to find out it's a story about abuse that is being, you know, paraded as a romantic kinky story. Like, can you imagine being her? Like, just that's fucking sick, you know? Get yourself someone who respects you. Get yourself someone who makes you feel special. Get yourself someone who loves you and doesn't try to fix you. Get yourself someone who puts limits and boundaries in their lives, and they put limits and boundaries for you as well, and respect the limits and the boundaries that you set for yourself. Get yourself someone that you can actually freely communicate about your sexual fantasies and your sexual life. Get yourself someone who respects you and treats you as you fucking deserve. Not a fucking Christian Grey just because he's a billionaire and he can buy you a fucking car. Like, come on, girl. Like, you're better than that. Get yourself someone that understands that when you say no, it means no. Get yourself someone that understands that you are not bendable in certain aspects of your life. If you do not enjoy getting spanked, if your boyfriend keeps spanking you after you fucking told him that you do not like getting spanked, fucking dump his ass, you know? That's what fucking Anastasia should have done, is she just stayed with him, and they got married, and then they have like babies. Like, really, like Christian Grey, you know, the guy who refers to his mom as a crack whore, you know, you really think that he's gonna be a good dad? Like, come the fuck on, Anastasia. You know, get yourself someone who loves and respects you. That's the point, you know? And stop following fucking media that, you know, tells you otherwise, because that's just bullshit, you know? And the claims that that's a healthy relationship also, you know? Just cut that out of your life, and fuck E.L James, and fuck the 50 Shades of Grey books and movies and her fan fictions, Master of the Universe. Just fuck all of it, you know? Just fucking throw it out of the fucking window, you know? Just fucking done with it. Anyways, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe, please leave me a thumbs up, and comment down below what are your opinions about this. I would really love to read you guys, and stay tuned for more content. See you on the next video.